Okay, so this is ways to poison the well with women.
Fellow free agents in life, welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while. I haven't posted in almost a month now. I was actually planning on returning about a week ago, but unfortunately, YouTube decided to just go full censorship mode on me. I got
Oh shit, the black pill came to collect my response to rehab room. So he was like disagreeing with what rehab room and he got taken down by YouTube. How did that happen?
a strike last week. I couldn't make any posts. I couldn't make any videos for an entire week. So that's just really unfortunate. And two of my videos got taken down. If you guys want to see which videos got taken down, link is in the description. It's on Rumble. I'm going to start posting more there because clearly I have to walk on eggshells. I don't know who it is. You know, some people are saying that it was Rehab Room and his Black Pill audience that reported me, but that really
I
doesn't
don't
make
think
sense
so.
to me because like Black Pillars aren't the type to do that, right? Like they're not the type to just mass.
I think uh, I think he's underestimating how degenerate some people in Luxmexing slash BP are. Don't forget, Clavicular literally got doxxed. People like reported him for having steroids to his own college, and then his college kicked him out. And that was his own people. That was his own kind. So I mean, I think you're underestimating how degenerate the small minority in that community is. They can be a real handful. They can be a real handful, and it's not the majority, but there's some people in this space that are just like yeah, they're just a pain in the ass. They're just a pain in the ass.
Report a video. I would be very surprised if that was the case. And then some people were like, it's MLD, but then again, MLD doesn't really have a cult following, so he's not like, how is he gonna mass report?
Wait, what? Fight me? Oh God! So for those that are kind of in the dark as to who the fuck this guy is challenging YBC too cool to fight him, this is like some red pill has been YouTube guy that was making pickup artist and dating coach videos in like the 2010s and obviously fell off and I don't know what it is with these guys and like wanting to like get in boxing matches and fight all the time. I don't understand. Like, is that how you win an argument? Like, who cares? Like, even if modern life dating sent YBC too cold to the shadow realm, does that make any of his ideas correct? No. It's really weird. These people are really fucking weird.
He's not like, how is he gonna mass
Fight me. Fight me. What? Fight me? What are you, Conor McGregor?
report? And the most plausible explanation, which I think is probably the truth, is the fact that a lot of normies and women found
Must be the roid rage. I think guys like YBC Too Cold, this guy speaking right now, they kind of see guys like that as the people that have kind of like replaced them. Like the dating coach meta of the 2010s is totally dead. Like if I go to this guy's channel, yeah, this is the guy. 1 month ago, 800 views, 2.1k, 2.4k. I mean, this is just like for a channel with 200k subscribers, that's pitiful. That is pitiful. Anyway, like we're already going off on so many fucking tangents. Let's not get distracted.
my community posts and didn't like what we had to say, didn't like the topics that were being discussed, and decided to kind of get together, band up, and mass report my channel. And the funny thing is, after I made a post talking about my strike, someone in my audience sent me this post in a subreddit called Incel Tears, where this chick was literally advocating for people to continue mass reporting me, so I get the other two strikes, and so my channel gets.
Oh my god. Wow, another a common redditor L, a common redditor L. And also, I don't even understand. Like, isn't Incel Tears is a subreddit for posting screenshots of hateful, misogynist, racist, violent, and often bizarre. I didn't know that. What's that got to do with mass reporting a channel? Like, these people are just these people are just mentally ill. They don't know how to conduct themselves in any kind of civilized way.
Chick was literally advocating for people to continue mass reporting me, so I get the other two strikes, and so my
Rule number one. No personal information or doxing.
channel gets taken down. But, you know, typical feminist behavior, trying to kick a man while he's down. Anyways, though, we're back, thankfully. Hopefully we don't get more strikes, because that's going to spell...
The incel tiers Redditors are really weird. They're worse than incels. Okay, we're talking about Reddit mods. Like, yeah, like, what Reddit mod is a well-functioning, civilized, normal person? Like, they're all weird, power-hungry, petty tyrants. Like, that's just the kind of, like, who's gonna want to bother applying to be a Reddit mod? It's not gonna be some nice, reasonable, chill guy, is it? Kind of by definition.
the end of the channel, obviously, but, you know, I've learned my...
But I think just the keyword BP is the thing that YouTube doesn't like. It's kind of like it raises like a flag, and it just kind of, the AI can detect it as you know, prohibited content. So I would just never really put it in a title or a description or in a tag or anything like that. Same with incel. Like I just don't think it's worth the risk.
Lesson Team YouTube, I understand now completely. All women are good. You know, if any of you guys were wronged by a chick, if you ever got broken up with, if you ever got shit tested, disrespected, cheated on, it is your fault, because you have to recall rule number 1 from the re-education program: women can do no wrong. They are angels.
Reddit versus Discord mods. Well, the Reddit mods have the power, but Discord mods, they're a special breed. They are a special breed. If I had to put money on it in a fight between Reddit mods and Discord mods, my money would be on the Discord mods. They have the power of schizophrenia that I don't think the average Reddit mod has.
Therefore, it is always your fault. Anyways, guys, that is enough yapping. That is enough rambling. In today's video, we're going to be doing a tier list on poisoning the well. This is a topic that comes up a lot. A lot of people in my audience ask me, like, dude, you advocate for mass approaches. You advocate for, you know, talking to a lot of people and being social. But how do I do that without poisoning the well? Like, how do I do that without, you know, coming across as weird, ruining my reputation to other people? If you guys don't know what poisoning the well means, it basically means...
You're fucking over, you're presenting yourself in a bad way to other women. That women will talk to other women, and then you have like a negative reputation. That's basically what it is in this context.
It's an analogy for spoiling your reputation, for like negative information spreading about you, people realizing this guy's weird, this guy, you know, is not cool, and then all of a sudden, before you even have a chance to introduce yourself to someone, they know who you are and they're preemptively going to reject you. So we're going to be ranking things from watering the well, which means you're good, the well definitely hasn't been poisoned, all the way up to nuking the well. Okay, so without further ado, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and let's get into the video. The first thing we have on the list is being ugly. Okay,
That's nuking the well, because all it takes is for a girl to show a picture of you to her friends, and if the friend's reaction is, are you sure, Becky? It's over. She's telling you to she's not gonna date you after that. I mean, that sounds harsh, but like I think that's literally how it plays out.
Ugly is obviously a well poisoner on its own, right? Somebody who is not ugly is going to have a lot more leeway, a lot more room to screw up than someone who is.
The only time I think it might not nuke the well is if you have like a lot of money. Like if the girlfriend says, "Oh, are you sure, Becky?" and Becky says, "Yeah, but he's got a lot of money. He's a millionaire." And then the other girl will be like, "Oh, okay, I understand." I think that's when like you can get past it, but at that point, do you really want to be that guy? Probably not. Do you want to be involved in a transactional relationship? Not for me. Not for me, at least.
So like that's why I always say being ugly is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. It's a horrible mistake. Don't do it. People are just going to implicitly assume bad things about you. Now, is this always the case? Absolutely not, right? There's a lot of ugly people who maybe they don't get as many sexual opportunities, but they're still cool. Like people still like them. They're not necessarily poisoning the well. But if you're ugly and weird, that's like the nail in the coffin, right? Like you're gonna like your things are gonna start bad things are gonna start happening to you, and you're gonna be like, dude, I did the same thing as this other guy, yet he's not getting any consequences for it, and I am, right? So I'm gonna
Right.
put this at high chance of poisoning the well. It's not a
Yeah, I think I'd put it there as well, to be fair.
complete nuke. If you're ugly, I guess you just have to be cool, and you can't screw up. There's less room to screw up. So make sure you guys are
Yeah, the thing is, there are technically exceptions. I think, like, if you're like super rich, you know, I think Becky's girlfriends would understand. Like, you know, like if you're Lil Wayne, you can get away with it, but it's not something that is really to be envied.
maxing, I suppose. Next up on this list, we have approaching too much at the same time. A lot of you guys are going to say, wait, aren't you an advocate for mass approaching? Well, kind of, but I'm not an advocate for doing it in a dumb way. And
Yeah, he's an advocate for doing it on the down low.
one of the dumbest things you can do when you're approaching is saying, I'm going to go out and between 4 to 6 p.m., I'm going to get 200 approaches in. And you just dedicate 2 hours to like walking up to every girl that you see. Now, if you're a PUA, if you're doing this for content and stuff, I guess you can get away with it. But if you're like a normal dude in a college campus or in an area where people are more likely to know each other, and then you get
Yeah, I can imagine if some girls get chatting and they'll say, "Oh yeah, that Mark guy approached me today and asked for my number," and if the other girl says, "Yeah, me too," I think you're cooked. I think in most cases you're cooked in that circumstance.
seen by someone else approaching this girl and then they start talking about you and stuff, it's more likely to happen. Now, how do we, if you do want to approach a lot at the same time, you want to basically vary the locations where you're approaching. So
Poisoning the well equals code for being sub 7. I understand why you think that. I mean, yeah, that I think in a lot of cases that's quite accurate. But at the same time, if we're thinking about women, like there's things like a woman can do that can poison the well, right? Like, for example, a lot of guys have a stigma about dating OnlyFans girls. And the reason for that is, like, if we're like talking about our girlfriend to our friends and we say, oh, she's actually an OnlyFans girl, almost all the time your guy friends are gonna, they're gonna sneer at you. They're gonna make jokes about you. They're gonna, your status as a man is actually gonna go down. So in that circumstance, that is an example of poisoning the well. And that absolutely is an equation for whether or not you want to, like, genuinely date this woman, right? So I understand why you think it's just looks, but like there are things that can poison the well that are beyond just like a one-to-one correlation with how good looking someone is.
there's a less likelihood of two people knowing each other, right? If you're afraid of that, I guess. So I'm going to say that this is also a high chance of poisoning the well for sure. Next up, we have approaching too much in the same place. This is deadly, devastating. Do not do this, especially
Right,
if that.
right, yeah. Like if imagine you get a girl's number, and things seem well on the surface, and then she catches you at the same place at the same time, like the same fucking junction in the street, looking around, talking to random girls that are above a 5. Like, her interest is gonna rapidly decline.
Place where you're approaching is a place where people frequent, like the gym, like a college lecture hall, like a cafe. Because if you're approaching too much and you're only doing your volume in one specific place, it's only a matter of time before regulars and people who go there often are going to start catching on. Like, this guy's just coming here to approach. He's not even drinking the fucking coffee. He's not even lifting any weights. He's literally here to just do a bunch of approaches.
Yeah, the performative male stuff. Yeah. You were here last time at 5 p.m. sitting on this step reading feminist literature. What the fuck's going on, Ryan? Why are you in the same place reading the same book, wearing the same thing at the same time? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as soon as like a girl figures out you're disingenuous like that, yeah, that's a big problem.
And then that's when, you know, you might run into some problems. So
And also, it also signals that if you're like cold approaching other girls and girls like catch on, they realize that they're not priority number one. You know, because you're trying to fish for other options, right? So you're only trying to fish for other options when you think you can do better. So like, you know, she's obviously gonna get the memo that, oh, okay, well, I'm obviously like second fiddle, so you know, fuck this.
make sure you not only vary the times where you approach, but you also vary the place, right? So if you're gonna do approaches at the gym, don't mass approach at the gym. Get like 2 in at the gym, go to some other place, do some approaches there, go to some other place, but you don't want to be doing it too much.
God, I've never had like a date or me approaching a girl at a gym ever go well. Like it's always turned out pretty badly. It's never gone well for me.
Much in the same place. Like the only people who can get away with doing these things and not poisoning the well and not completely ruining themselves is me and Yad, right? Yad is an example of somebody who's ugly and who still, despite his thousands of approaches, has not poisoned the well. But bro, you're not me and you're not Yad, okay? We can do this.
Sorry, what? What? Huh? Sorry, I think I missed the part. But since when was Yad the gold standard for sexual attraction?
So what you do is run past and then you, hey,
Yad?
You can. All right, next up we have being known as the outcast. So here's the thing about being an outcast, right? Let's say that, you know, you're in a high school or you're in a college and you're the type of guy that sits by himself all the time, like at the lunch table, you're not really talking to anybody. You're kind of weird and quirky and you solve Rubik's Cubes in your free time. Been there, done that. You know, if you're that kind of guy, what's going to happen is people are going to look at you and then they're going to judge.
The Yad stop technique. I can't believe, you know, when was that video made? Like it must have been made like in 2012. Like it may as well be in like another era that video came from, and we're still fucking talking about it. We're still talking about the Yad stop. How is that possible? How is that stupid video that was, you know, a fucking beginning point for some bullshit dating coach sales funnel? How is that still being spoken about today? It's unbelievable.
Judge you subconsciously. They're going to be like, this guy's an outcast. He's not a social butterfly. So when you decide to get up and change and say, you know what, I'm going to start taking initiative and I'm going to start approaching people and talking to people, well, then you could approach a girl. You could be socially calibrated. You could be cool. But she already has that preconceived notion of you that you are a weird outcast, and she's going to judge you negatively. And then she's going to go tell her friends, oh, you know that weird guy who sits by himself at the lunch table? He just approached me. Isn't that so out of character? So you're already building an identity by being an...
See, my counter example to this is the love story of Twilight. Like, wasn't Edward Cullen, like, wasn't like the main love interest this like really attractive loner that just so happened to like this girl? I think this is like this is a non-issue if a girl's attracted to you physically. I think it's a non-issue.
Outcast, and it's going to be hard to remove that identity, but it's still possible. That's the thing. What you want to do is you want to actually make male friends and build a social life before you start talking to girls if you're perceived as an outcast. Because the outcast, the guy who sits by himself, who's always alone, he rarely gets the girl. So you got to start working brick by brick, layer by layer, which means friends first, social life, community.
See, the thing is, most of my dating experience just comes from dating apps. So all of this shit is something I don't really put much mental bandwidth into. Like, you know, I aside from like being ugly, like obviously, you know, physical attraction is something in my mind, but all this stuff where I'm like, you know, all this cold approach meta stuff, like I just don't really, it just doesn't really cross my mind because, you know, I'm just swiping on Tinder at like 3 a.m.
women come after. Always do it in that order. And also, I might make a separate video on this, but male loneliness, the problem isn't about girlfriends and wives and women. It's actually a problem with community.
Loners are attractive if they're attractive. Yeah, exactly. I don't... You know, imagine if there's like a really hot girl. She's like a big titty goth girl, and she's like, you know, she's your type, whatever it is, right? Maybe not the big titty goth girl, but like, and she's like a bit of a loner. She's like a, you know, she keeps to herself and, you know, doesn't go out to like parties and shit. Are you gonna lose attraction for her? If anything, you might even gain attraction for that. So I don't like, I don't think this is a determining factor.
In friendship. Next up, we have creepy behavior. See, you could have everything going for you. You could be pretty decent looking, you know, above average. You could be, you know, a guy who's confident, who approaches a lot. But if you exhibit weird, creepy behavior, like, you know, you lick your lips every 3 seconds. I don't know, dude. I'm just trying to think, what's something creepy? Like staring dead into her soul when you speak, like piercing eye contact that doesn't look away. You know, just creepy mannerisms. If your energy comes off as like desperate and in scarcity, that's also going to kind of, you know, knock you down.
I mean, we've been through this. Like we've seen the, you know, the Tinder experiments where there's like fake Chad profiles where the bio says that, you know, they've been done in for, you know, beating their ex-girl or something, or even worse, like crimes. And yeah, they just get loads of matches anyway. Creepy behavior, again, I think, you know, if something's being considered creepy, it's usually just because this comes from a bad looking guy. Like if I search on YouTube, creepy guy, it's not gonna be fucking Chad Lights that appear. Creepy guy. Let's see. Let's see.
He decided to play a little joke on her.
Anytime a video is titled "Creepy Guy Does X," it's never going to be a Chad Light. It's always going to be a sub 5. So, you know, it's just like, it's just one of those like bullshit words that is really just a barometer for how good you look.
Down a peg. So I'm going to put creepy behavior at high chance of poisoning the well. Actually, this is nuking the well. Next up, we have being pushy on text, right? So
go to Google Images. Well, yeah, I mean, I could, but you get the idea, right?
You know, the thing about women is they kind of share their text message history with every girl in their group. So you have to text women under the assumption that you're texting 20 women, not under the...
I don't think nuking the well, like, again, like, if you've already been branded as creepy or having creepy behavior, it's because you're unattractive, physically unattractive in almost every case. So, again, I don't really agree with the framing of this, you know?
Assumption that you're just texting her, especially if you're in the initial stages of talking. Like if she's your girlfriend and it's 2 years down the line, you know, you can rest assured most likely that she's not, you know, snaking you. But if it's a girl that you're still trying to court and you have a crush on her, you don't want to be spamming pushy on text, because if she doesn't like you, she's going to tell her friends, look how creepy this guy is, look at what he's sending me. And then now her friends are also going to have that impression of you. So you always want to text conservatively. You don't want to be
What is the reverse of poison the well? Purify the well? Question mark. Purifying the well is having a rumor spread between girls that you have you know, a large, yeah. That would be purifying the well. Like imagine that. Imagine that's the rumor that's spreading around. You can imagine that would be to your benefit, right?
too pushy unless you're
Not to be too crass, but that's easy to imagine that playing out, right?
100% sure she's high interest, she likes you, and she messes with it. So I'm gonna put this at high chance of poisoning the well. Next up, we have talking too much. This is a big problem some guys have, bro. It's like they like a girl and then they start talking too much.
Again, I think YBC kind of misses the mark, and this is kind of like a bit of like a general criticism of his content. I think even he like a bit he just kind of under indexes on the importance of looks, like being pushy on text. What does that really mean? Like, imagine if someone's being pushy to give you a briefcase of $1 million. Are you gonna give a shit? No, you're gonna try and meet that person and make things as easy as possible. Like being pushy. Like if someone if someone wants something from that person, if someone's genuinely attracted, being pushy is just kind of, it's just like, yeah, well, yeah, you're being pushy, I'm being pushy to meet you. So it's just, this is a non-factor. This is a non-factor. And again, I don't really agree with the frame.
About who they like, when they started liking her, why they started liking her, and they start
Double texting is desperate no matter what. I will agree that that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign that things are going well. But I don't think that's a death sentence.
telling their own guy friends. Their guy friends are gonna tell their girlfriends who also happen to be friends with that girl, and then before you know it, the whole school knows that you like this chick, or the whole fucking, you know, environment knows that you like this chick. So make sure that you guys are more conservative about what you talk about. Only talk about things with your closest friends, because, you know, if you tell her friends, because what her friends are gonna do is they're gonna be like try to talk to you about it as if they're on your side and like hearing you out, but they're just gonna relay all that information to her. So if you don't want her finding out, then keep it to yourself. Don't talk too much.
I mean, yeah, I think that's fair. Like, anything you tell a girl, like, imagine that girl with 5 of her girlfriends in a room. Girls gossip. It's literally what they do. So, you know, you got to be conscious that anything you tell a girl is going to be spread around. Again, more so than us men. Like, more so than us men realize.
I'm still gonna say that this is a
Like, us men, we don't gossip that much about, you know, girls we're dating. Like, to be honest. Like, you know, my friends, like, the amount of information I have about their girlfriends / wives is pretty fucking low. Pretty fucking low. But, like, that's not the case with women. They're constantly talking about the guy they're dating.
you know, this is between these two. This one's hard, man. I guess I'm gonna put it here. Next up, we have beefing her friends. I've already talked about this on the channel, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. If her friends don't like you, she probably doesn't like you.
Every text message you send her is getting sent in the group chat. Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, anything you send to her, imagine that going into the girls' group chat.
So make sure that you leave a good impression on her friends, unless, you know, she's so high interest that her liking you overrides her a girl code, if you will. By the way, guys, quick side note, if you want to get better at approaching, if you want to transform your dating life from the ground up, if you want my personal help and the help of like-minded guys to solve problems like these, make sure you join my community. I have one of the best communities on dating. We get together, we do weekly calls, we interact with each other, we drop games. So if you want to join a community like that, check the link in the description. And also, we talk about other things, esoteric, spiritual topics that I'm never going to talk about on YouTube ever. So if you're interested in that side of self-improvement, if you're interested in more holistic stuff rather than just dating, then our community is perfect for you as well. So make sure you guys check that out. Next up, we have bad hygiene. Obviously, guys, come on, bad hygiene. I don't want Goatus fans coming on here and saying, but in nature, deodorant doesn't exist. We just take a shower with the water in the river. Like, bro, listen, I appreciate you guys, you Goatus fans, but just make sure you don't smell bad and you'll be fine, okay? Next up, we have texting too many girls at the same time. I'm pretty sure all of us did this at some point. I definitely did when I was younger.
Oh, fuck. Dude, I've got on Instagram, and I think I have like 800 girls I'm following, and most of them are like girls I've just randomly added from like dating apps. And I think I gotta fucking delete it because it's just too many. And like anytime I have like a girl that's you know, that I'm like talking to, she, you know, I add them on that account, they're gonna see all these other girls that I'm following and following me back and like, you know, interacting with my posts, and it's just like, I think that is poison. I think that's kind of fucking me. I think I gotta restart a new account or something because it's too much. I understand that it's too much.
Basically, just go on your phone, you know, you're lonely one night and you're like, fuck it, dude, and you just hit up every girl, same opener, every girl you text.
Chat light problems? No, it's not as cool as that. It's not as cool as that.
every girl in your high school or every girl in your college or whatever. This is one of the quickest ways to poison the well, because trust me, they're all gonna talk, they're all gonna find out.
I don't know if like it just kind of adds up. Like you just talk to some random chick that's marginally attractive, and you get her Instagram and you add her and say hi, and they say hi, and then there's some kind of boring, and like you don't really, take the conversation any further, and you just forget about it, and you do that over and over again, and like suddenly you have like this bloated follower list and following list of just random girls that you spoke to and said hi to 2 years ago, and you're never gonna fucking meet or do anything. It's like it's not as cool as it sounds. It's not as cool as it sounds.
You had that one bad night and you might be judged for it. So if you're gonna text girls with some intent, make sure you do it with girls that don't necessarily know each other, and also be more conservative with how many girls you talk to at the same time. So I'm gonna put this at moderate chance of poisoning the well, because it's a skill issue.
Okay.
It really depends.
So
on
I'm only half cooked. Yeah, this was not a bad video by YBC Too Cold. Yeah.